Southwest Airlines. You know them, the original low-cost disruptor. Well, they're in the middle of the biggest reinvention in their entire history. And based on their blockbuster third-quarter results for 2025, it really looks like their massive bet is starting to pay off. Okay, let's dive into this transformation.
So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll break down Southwest's record-breaking quarter, walk through the blueprint for their huge transformation, get into the nitty-gritty of new seats and perks, connect it all to the financial picture, and then we'll look at what's next for the airline.
All right, first up, this profitable quarter that's basically the launch pad for a historic shift in their strategy. The company is posting some seriously strong numbers, and that's giving them the confidence and, the cash to change, well, pretty much everything.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. CEO Bob Jordan said it himself. Listen, this is not some minor tweak. We're talking about a fundamental rewiring of the airline's DNA, and it's all happening at a speed they have never, ever seen before.
And the foundation for all this change? It's solid. We're talking a record $6.9 billion in operating revenue for just the third quarter. Now, that's not just a big number, it's a huge signal that the demand is there and that the changes they've already made are starting to click with customers.
So what does this transformation actually look like? Let's get into the blueprint and see how this all fits together. The airline is rolling out a dizzying number of changes, basically all at once.
And the scope of these initiatives is, wow, it's staggering. It's not just one or two things. They're going after the passenger experience in a big way. Think assigned seating. Yep, you heard that right. A complete reversal of their famous free-for-all policy. Plus, modern comforts like power outlets. But at the same time, they're expanding their entire business model. We're talking major partnerships for booking, new connections to Asia, and even their own vacation packages. It's a full-court press, touching every single part of the airline.
Okay, so of all those changes, there's one that really stands out as the most dramatic, especially for anyone who's ever flown Southwest. Let's do a deep dive into this new world of seats and perks.
The rollout here has a really clear and ambitious timeline. Sales kick off in July 2025 for the first flights with the new seating in early 2026, and the money side of it is just as clear. They expect this one change, just this one, to pull in over $1 billion in additional earnings in its first year alone. And get this, they think it'll ramp up to a run rate of $1.5 billion by 2027. That is massive.
And you know what? The early signs are incredibly strong. On their earnings call, execs were talking about seeing a knife-edge improvement in bookings and revenue, like right on that January 27th date. As they put it, customers are already voting with their wallet for this new system, and it hasn't even taken off yet.
And it's not just about what's coming. The customer experience is already getting better. On the more than 400 planes that already have the new cabin interiors, with more legroom and other nice touches, the customer satisfaction score has jumped by 4 points. That's a huge deal. It shows people are really liking the physical changes, even before the whole assigned seating thing officially kicks in.
All right, so the customer response seems pretty positive. Let's zoom out now and look at the total financial picture. How are all these new initiatives actually supposed to hit the bottom line?
Okay, this is where you really see the scale of their ambition. For 2025, they're projecting all these initiatives will add about $1.8 billion to their EBIT. That's a key measure of profitability. But then look at 2026. That number is expected to more than double, jumping all the way to $4.3 billion. This isn't some slow and steady plan, it's exponential.
And while they're planning for all that massive future growth, they're also making it happen in the here and now. The company stood by its full-year 2025 earnings guidance of $600 to $800 million. That's a big signal of confidence that they can pull off this huge transformation while still hitting their current financial targets.
But this brings up a really critical question, one that analysts on the earnings call didn't hesitate to ask. Are all these new fees and features just a smokescreen? Are they just covering up a weakness in Southwest's traditional core business?
So you've got the skeptics' view, right? They're worried the airline is just plugging holes in a sinking ship. But Southwest's rebuttal is actually backed by some pretty solid data. They're pointing out that their core customers are more engaged than ever. Loyalty revenue up 7%. New credit card signups up by double digits. And their overall brand satisfaction score, it's completely recovered from a dip earlier in the year. So their argument is, hey, these new initiatives are making the core stronger, not hiding its decline.
Which brings us to our final section. With so much change already happening, what could possibly be next for this new version of Southwest?
Believe it or not, they are not done. Not even close. The airline confirmed they're actively looking at introducing even more premium products.
We're not just talking extra legroom anymore. Think true premium seating, think airport lounges, and yeah, even long-haul international destinations. This really suggests that transformation is just getting started.
And that leaves us with one final, really fascinating question. As Southwest keeps adding things like premium seating, lounges, and complex global partnerships, is it slowly turning into a traditional legacy carrier? The very kind of airline it was created to disrupt in the first place? The answer to that question is going to define not just the future of Southwest, but maybe the future of the entire airline industry.